Okay, cool. So just so you guys know, anything you guys are saying will be recorded, just so you're aware. So this is our Flask Starter, and the general goal of the starter is just to get you familiar with how Flask works. And Flask is a really great tool for building hackathon projects because it's a web server, and you're able to create web apps with it. And in general, it's just really flexible. Like, you can make anything you want as long as it can go on a website and you can share it with other people. It's very, very nice. So I'll just send the link in the work. Oh, this is in archives. Okay, I'll send it in resources. Flask Starter. So here's a repository, and you can just go ahead and download it. You can, if you're familiar with Git, you can use git clone to clone this repository, or you can just go up on this right-hand corner here, the green button, and click download zip. You will need Python for this, and the pip, which is the package installer for Python. But yeah, we'll give you like 10 minutes to set that up, and help you set that up. Oh, yes, that is actually really, that's actually nice too. Yeah. Yeah, Replit is actually preferred now. Now that I know we have this, because it's just faster. Yeah. All right. So these instructions are all for local setup. So if you want to make your project on your own computer, then that's what it's for. But Replit is easier. Now I'm gonna change my window to Pycharm. All right. Let's take a look at this. So we have a few folders. Oh, right, I'm using Pycharm IDE. I think it's really nice. All the JetBrains IDEs are really good for development. So if that's what you want to use, go ahead. And Python is just in general a super convenient language. Like, everything is built in for you, so it's just a great language. I like it for prototyping. Technically, it's less efficient than lower level languages, but yeah. So we have our 3 folders: assets, CSS, and templates. So these 3 folders are kind of holding what we need for our website that we'll actually show later. And then app.py is what Python will be running to host the web server, so that you can serve web pages over to other people. Yeah, so we have some assets in here, some cool pictures you can use, and the style is already loaded with some things that I just like to use, like cards and buttons. These are just really nice in general to set up stuff with. They look nice and it's easy to use. You'll see an example of that later. And also Sophie made these really cute assets, so they're very good. Yeah, index is already loaded with a basic Bootstrap template, and you have your text here, just generally going over how HTML works. Oh, sorry, let me turn that off. Yeah, so in general, I'm not going to go through the specifics of the language like HTML and Python, just because of time constraints. But yeah. Hopefully this will help you guys. If you're completely unfamiliar with these things, it'll help you learn a little bit more. Oh, it's also loaded with Sweet Alert. That's just also a really nice library for app building. It creates like alerts and notifications and stuff, which is really nice. All right, so here's our Flask app. Imports are already ready. Here's some really basic imports. Flask has a lot more tools like Jinja, which is like a form thing that helps process inputs between your server and your HTML page. These two are for loading just for the server to send assets and the CSS to the user. And also, so here we have our main page. And you can see the app.root. That kind of indicates where, like, you'll be typing these routes in the browser to get to these things. Yeah. Alrighty. So we can go ahead and run this right now. So if we run it, one instance was already running. So you can see it starts up the Flask server, and it shows that we're running on 0.0.0.0. So you want to host your website on this address specifically, unless you know what you're doing, because by default it'll host on 127.0.0.01. That one is not externally visible, so if you look on other devices within your network, it won't be able to see the website. Debug is on. This will make it so that whenever you have file changes, the server will reload itself and save the new changes. Just really handy. Right, so if I click this, it will send me to the website, which I will stream here. Whoopsies. Alright, here. So you have your basic nav bar up here. You can add more things. Bootstrap has a really nice, this one, has really nice documentation. I can send this link. Bootstrap. Sorry, what? Oh, okay, that's nice. Yes. Bootstrap. Yeah, so Bootstrap is a really nice tool to learn. It helps a lot with web development, just to make your website look good. So for example, if we go into, you guys can't see that, can you? Let me see if I can merge this on the left. Yes, okay. So why I say it's useful is because you can make these grid-like designs. So for example, this row, you can have rows and then you can have columns, so it's really easy to separate stuff and make it look however you want. So HTML is on here, teaches you how to make links, and like paragraphs, headers, and images. And so this is the sweet alert thing. Very nice. This is just useful for UI development, and you can dismiss that. I will send a sweet alert to docs. This that was a very rudimentary demonstration of what Sweet Alert can do. Sweet Alert's own website has a lot more usage cases and like different features that you can use. Yeah. Alright, so that was the HTML page. So today we're implementing very simple things, but tomorrow we'll be showing how to make a semi-legitimate project with this starter. But today we're just going to do something real simple, real easy. If you have this open, you can follow along, but if not, you can watch the recording that we will post. So here is a route. So you've seen that it can serve HTML. Oh wait, you guys aren't looking at this. Hold on, let me change my screen. So you could see how Flask can serve things like a web page, like an HTML file, to clients, so that it'll look pretty and nice. But it's also useful for things like transmitting data and communicating from the client's computer to the server computer. So like if the website actually wanted to like send some input data, like maybe it's like a weather searching website, you can type in data on the website, like, oh, I want to search up the weather in Vancouver, and then your browser will send that data all over to the web server, and the web server will process that and send something back. And that is why it is useful. So this is just a real simple thing. We're making a route to whale sightings, and this is a little bit of a spoiler for tomorrow, but yeah. So whale sightings, this is the address that you'll be going to access the data. And so we're getting the data from this API and converting it to a JSON, which is a structure, like a dictionary-like structure. It's real handy for transmitting data over the web and storing data locally. And we're just going to return the length of this list. So if we go to this website, let me change my window again. So if we go to this address here, you can see this looks like a lot of nonsense, but Json Formatter is very nice. I will also send this into the chat. Json Formatter. This is just really handy to make JSONs a lot more readable. So this API here, if you can see, it's searching for orcas near this latitude and longitude, which happens to be near UBC, and within a radius of 10 miles. So sightings of those within 10 miles. And each object here represents a sighting. And so, let me change my window again. Change window, Flask Starter. So you can see here, we're trying to get the whale sightings, how many of them there are. And we can just define this function and get the data from here. And all we have to do is get the length of the list that it returns. And once we get the length, we can return it back to the user. Simple as that. So now we can, so now you see it detected the change in this file, so we don't even have to rerun it. It's already done for us. Oh, whoops, that's wrong windows. Oh. Hold on, you guys didn't see what oh, wait, hold on. Yes. Change window back to this. So if we go to 0.0.0.5000/whale sightings, it'll return us to the length of this list, which is 50. So there's been 50 whale sightings counted in this data that we've gotten. And so now you might be thinking, oh, I can only get whale sightings, but this API lets me get different species. So maybe we can make that more flexible. Indeed we can. All right, so I will get rid of this. Now we're going to make this method a little bit more broad. So just sightings. And now, instead of just only getting orca sightings, we'll get whatever the client requests. So, should have reloaded the change again. Oh wait, you guys can't see this. Oh my god, I changed the window. There we go. Yeah, so here's our new method, a little bit more broad. And we're getting the arguments from the URL. I'll show you what that means later. Later, as in right now. Alright, so new server is loaded up, and oh, that was so. If we specify the species, so the question mark indicates that you're adding arguments to the URL. And so you're just, so this is a really easy way to transmit data from the browser to the web server, just simply adding it to the URL. And the question mark indicates you want to add information. Information, I want to add species. What species? Not whale, orca. So you can see, same thing, 50. But let's say we want to get harbor seals. Harbor seals. Just type that in. And unfortunately, not many harbor seals have been recorded into this database. So, yeah. There you go. That's how we make it a little bit more flexible. I will send this code into the channel so that we have a record of it. Python. There we go. So that is the code for getting arguments from the URL. So yeah, so you can see we're getting this. Oh wait, I forgot to change the screen again. There we go. Yeah, so you can see we use this request.args.getSpecies function to get which species we need from the URL. And that makes it a lot more of a flexible function, and it's better that way. Yeah. Alright, that was the Flask Starter for today, and hopefully that will help you guys build better projects, because this is, as I said earlier, Flask is just really flexible, and hopefully this allows you to kind of express your creative vision for what your app wants to be, with a UI and with a backend and stuff like that. Yeah. Alright, if you guys have any questions, now is the time to ask them. Hello? A bit. Yes, this is Flask. It is kind of a REST API. You can make REST calls to the Flask server. So yeah, a little bit. Oh, what did he just? Did he just come here to say that? Wow. Okay. All right. So if the rest of you have anything to ask, if not, this is the end of our workshop, and I will stop recording now.